Welcome everyone to week 3 of Aurora Season 5. We got a bit of a banger match today. We got the Sleepy Slimes versus the Shanghai Sayoris, and recently there are a few trades going on with the Sleepy Slimes, so I'm excited to see how this turns out. We'll be starting here on Busan Mecha Base. So it looks like we're gonna have a Queen Mare here. And I'm joined here with Simplydino as my co-caster. So yeah, it looks like they're gonna have the exact same comps here. It's just one, or the Slimes will have the Tracer, and then the Sayoris will have the Genji here. And it looks like the Slimes are going right side, and the Sayoris are going left. We have an early shout from Mighty Dwarf going in, doing some damage here with the axe. Playing a bit split here. Everyone's just poking, waiting for something to happen here. And Minidorf might like to go into the shouts. The Sayoris are just sitting point here, and the Slimes shout, and they match shout, and Cuckoo falls early here. They trade out Pneumonia, so if they can stabilize, they can probably win, but Minidorf goes down. That should be a pretty clean fight win for the Shanghai Sayoris. Alright, so coming into this next fight, we'll have no ults really, but Sly will almost have the Pulse Bomb, and Neptune will almost have the Soldier ults. Like to go aggressive. Tukipook sliding in really aggressively, but can't get the kill if Tuki falls. And so will Tuki here. And just another clean fight win for Sayoris here as they chase kills. Alright, looks like the Shanghai Sayoris will have 5 ults here, so it's gonna be really hard to break through this choke. We'll probably see a Kitsune rush as soon as they come out of the choke here from Riddle Dog, and so we'll have to see how the Slimes are able to break this. They end up going left here. They get through the choke, so they start off with an overclock here from Nqthyn. And a shout. They're going in aggressively on Mighty Dwarf, and they're able to take him out with OC. And once the tank's down, it's pretty much over. Tukipook goes down, but he does trade Neptune. And now they're just chasing kills. Beat comes out from Goku. He thinks it's winnable, 2v4. And it's overtime here on the points. Mighty Dwarf with the 3-man purple great Suzu from Riddle Dog. And Blade comes out from Poke, and the Rampage comes out from Pneumonia. And it looks like that was just a really clean map win. Or clean points here for the Sayoris.
I'm here. Score.
So quite a dominant performance here from the Sayoris. They're gonna go over to Sanctuary now, so what do you think they need to change up here?
I still have much to learn.
I'm not sure. Like, I think that during those fights that, like, usually, one of the Slime's supports got picked off pretty easily. I'm not sure if it's just, like, the way that they're playing together as a group. But I know that Tuki's trying to take off angles a little bit more. Maybe if one of the supports could go with them.
Yeah, that could definitely be what we would like to see here. But now in Sanctuary we have a Poke comp over here from the Sayoris, and the same Queen comp coming out from the Slimes here. So they're just playing on the opposite side of the map from them, and Sly goes in alone and gets picked early. So they meet point here, but they're down one, so they're gonna have to make a play here if they want to win this fight. But Maidorf is just chilling on the points. He snipes the Widow. Great play from Mighty Dwarf there. And here they're just poking each other out, but looks like Sly will be back very soon, and they can look to push off of that. Tuki with a huge rail shot into poke, and now they're going in, trying to kill the Zen. Zen goes down, and just overall great shots from Tuki. A great opening pick from Mighty Dwarf. Mighty Dwarf pushed the advantage here, gets the BAP, and Nqthyn actually responds with 2 picks, or with 1 pick. And I don't even know who's winning here. Looks like it's a 3v3 and they're just regrouping on point.
Over here. Over there.
Yeah, looks like spawns are gonna come back about at the same time here. And Tuki has this rail. Oh, nice pick from Sly on the Widow here, getting war. Let's see if they look to push off of that. They've been out the rock, but it looks like they're just chilling. And they let Nqthyn get a pick though, and now it's a 4v5 because everyone's coming back, war's coming back. And they shout in, but they can't get anything done. They isolate this Widow here, they could end up getting him. The lamp comes out from Riddle, just perfectly placed lamp, but Nqthyn still dies. She doesn't have grapple. They trade both supports for it, and it should just be a clean fight win here for the Shanghai Sayoris. Alright, a bit of a turnaround here from the Slimes. They are doing a really good job here, especially with their ult economy. They still have 4 ults, but the Shanghai Sayoris have 5, so this will be a hard retake here. As the sights come out just to take some early space, but they let the point flip, but Maidorf goes down. Huge pick from Sly, but I don't think it's going to be enough without your tank. You can't really win this. And should be another fight win for the Sayoris, but they ended up getting the points, and now it's up to 90%, so we're looking at 1 fight territory. All the Slimes need to do to take this point is just win 1 more fight.
The barrier's weakened. Now you see me? Now you don't.
So they have 3 ults over there from the Slimes, but 4 from the Sayoris here, so once again this will be a really hard retake, being an ult disadvantage. But Maidorf does have the Rampage, and they don't have the Cleanse here. So if you could look to get a really big Rampage, all 4 of them are sitting on the high ground in the back, so it's really hard. As Goku falls, it's going to be hard for them to break this. Maidorf goes in with a shout onto poke, but can't find anything, and they're just going to have to reset here because they're down 1. And the Sayoris, they're doing a really good job of playing that back high ground, making it really hard for Maidorf to get this Rampage here. So I'd like to see a bit of a wrap from the Slimes as they're doing here, trying to get on that high ground. I could see a big Rampage if he keeps assigning a wrap. He ends up going points, and they take the fight with Overclock, but the Sayoris answer with both support ults, and Muffin Lumps goes down with the Flux coming in. There's a big Flux. The beat saves Mighty Dwarf. Big beat, but it's not going to be enough as Nqthyn gets 3. And I think that just came down to better ult usage. Just a great Flux, great window, able to enable Nqthyn to get those picks, and Poke gets 2 more kills in their spawn they can't touch. And that's Usan. Usan goes to the Shanghai Sayoris.
Play of the game.
Yeah, so it looks like this Queen comp, while it did do alright on Sanctuary, it's just not working. So I think they're going to have to switch something up here if they want to turn this match around. So we'll have to see what they can come up with next map. We'll bring you to a short break real quick.
early.
Yeah, oh, 100%. Yeah, for sure. But I'm not gonna be a purist and be like, oh yeah, I'm doing it because I'm so nice to them, whatever.
Do you understand?
All right, welcome back. We got map 2 Eichenwald here. A few switch ups here for both teams. It looks like Riddle is going to be subbed out here for Tommy Slat, but some big changes over on the Slime side. They're going to have Tukipook on tank, Maidorf on his signature Reaper Guy character, and Tukipook is on the Rhine right now. I'm not sure if he's going to stick it. Probably not, but I mean, judging by their comp with they have Ryan, Reaper, Sim, like it would make sense if they're rolling on the Rhine here. So what do you think about this compositional matchup?
I feel like the slimes might have to switch some things up, especially with the Pharmacy that Shanghai is running. And I don't know if they are expecting it.
Yeah, they're definitely. They have no characters that can shoot this far except for Tihi on the Baptiste, so the farm might be problematic here. But Lamp Forest early, they're just surrounding them, poke behind, and with Nqthyn coming from the sky, they're just not able to answer the Pharah or the Tracer here. And
Oh, Mighty Dwarf does switch to cast.
yeah, the cast swap should be very good for countering the Pharah here. And also a Diva swap coming from Tukipook, so they definitely are recognizing the real threat here of the Pharmacy. And Tukipook looks to dive top here. Nqthyn drops some punches, but he's falling really low. He has to get all the way out. They have to give a lot of space off of that. And Slimes gets to go for the choke for free here. But Poke is just being a menace in the backline. Poke goes AFK and dies to Diva, but yeah, the Contenders player with the barrage in the backline, it's just over. Another fight win for the Sayoris here. They do get some exit picks, but Tukipook will have to back here, it looks like, as the Sayoris come back. Now Tukipook falls really low, he'll die before the fight starts, and with the pulse bomb coming out onto Tihi and the Pharmacy in your backline again, another clean fight win for the Sayoris here. We have some big ults coming out from the Sayoris with the Valk and the Kitsune Rush, and they're close to the Doom ult and the Barrage here. And judging by what Nqthyn's been doing with these barrages, it could be really hard here for the Slimes to get through this choke. But they end up killing the Pharah first. Tihi with the opening pick, the beat drops, and the Kitsune and the Valk are popped here. And they're able to res Nqthyn, but at the cost of War's life. It's even, but now Nqthyn kills himself with the barrage, but Tommy Slat's able to get the last two picks here, and that should be another fight win. Wasn't pretty,
Very
but
nice cleanup.
fight win. Yeah, very good cleanup from Tommy Slat. And Pneumonia gets a bit aggressive here in their spawn, but he's just trying to build his ults here as he's able to get out. Tukipook falls really low, he could get demeched here if he's not careful. He needs to grab the Mega real quick. And good stabilization from the Slimes here. Let's see what they can do to get through this choke. And Nqthyn is actually on the cast now. Pulse bomb comes out. Tihi falls really low. He ends up getting taken down. Yeah, he's not able to use the nano before he dies. So they're able to clean this up. The bomb comes out though. Definitely should save that for next fight, but another clean fight win for the Sayoris. If they can stagger this Diva here, it's game over, as they're gonna have to scramble to touch, but it looks like Tukipook's able to get out with his life. So a Reaper swap coming out from Mighty Dwarf here, and they're just gonna need to bolt it to point to try to get a touch here. Tukipook trying to get there. The nano comes out on the Tuki, they get to point. Nqthyn falls really low, he could die. He's 1 HP, and Tuki takes him down. As the Lucio gets really low, but Nqthyn is in your backline. Nqthyn is a demon in the backline, gets 2. It's currently even right now as Sly gets war, but as the DMAC comes out, the Pulse Bomb comes out on the Mighty Dwarf, and the Kitsune Rush comes out on points, so it looks like that's the end. And the Sayoris just need to get 46.2% to win this map here, so it's looking very grim for the Sleepy Slimes here. So what do you think they need to switch it up?
I feel like they had a lot of swaps. I don't know if they just couldn't work out something to counter that Pharmacy in the beginning.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, they had a lot of swaps.
yeah, it was definitely a mess of swaps, and I think the cast swap was really good because it forced Neptune off the pharmacy, but they just didn't have an answer to him. They didn't have an answer for Pneumonia on the Doomfist.
Ready.
He's going crazy in the backline, so I think maybe they should try to counter the Doom while also trying to counter the pharmacy. So I think the cast pick is really good here, but it looks like they'll be coming out on the Hog, which is a good counter for the Doomfist, and they'll have cast for the Pharah. Some good swaps coming in, I think, for the Sleepy Slimes here.
Things were a lot simpler when I was robbing banks with the Deadlock gang.
Yeah, on the side of the Sayoris here, it looks like they're gonna just stay the same. They're gonna have the Curie Mercy, Pharmacy, or the Ana actually comes out from Tommy Slat. So they're gonna try to look for dives from Tommy's nades here. And actually a really good counter pick for the Hog here. And a huge hook comes out from Tuki, gets the opening pick, and Mercy falls too. And they're just gonna need to back here, nothing they can do. Pneumonia barely gets out with his life as Tuki barely misses the hook. And clean fight win for the Slimes here. And it looks like this pharmacy is going around in their spawn, and Pneumonia is now on the Hog, so we have a Hog mirror here. But that might be kind of tough because he doesn't have a Curie Carry or the enemy team has Ana. So we'll see if Tiki can land these nades. Hook goes in, but misses on point. And they just have to watch out for Neptune, who's just wrapping around behind them in their spawn. Taking a really wide and good angle here. As she gets the turret, hook lands onto Tuki, and Yuku has to TP Suzu, and he dies for it. And Tuki barely misses the hook, but Neptune does fall, but Pneumonia is just getting it 4K, I believe, on the point here, and that will be a map win for the Shanghai Sayoris.
Play of the game.
And I wonder if this is one of his really good barrages here. It's actually not, but Neptune just did a crazy amount of work on the Pharah, hitting 3 people with 1 rocket there. And that and Pneumonia on the Doomfist really helped them get that map win there. They had some really good coordinated dives on the backline there. And it's looking like a 2-0 right now in favor of the Sayoris, so we'll have to see what the Slimes can come up with to turn this around, and we'll bring you to a short break. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back, everyone. We got a 2-0 lead from the Sayoris here, and we're coming in with Esperanza as the Slime's map choice. But a few swap ups here for both teams. Riddle Dog's coming back in on the flex support, being the only change for the Sayoris, and then we're looking at a lot of changes for the Slimes here. We're gonna have Guku on the tank, and we're gonna see Tukipu slide over to the DPS, and then Cat's first showing here with her new team, the Slimes. So we'll see probably some Mercy coming out from Cat, and some weird comps showing right now, but I think we're not gonna play Life Weaver Zen with Queen. Yeah, there's the Kiri, and there's the Lucio, so Guku will be coming up with the Doomfist here, and it looks like the Saras are just gonna go with the traditional Queen comp here. So it looks like both teams are just poking, waiting for an opportunity here. Nqthyn goes in with a shout already, and they're able to pick Mercy. And that's a huge opening pick, and then Poke gets Soldier here, and Guku is just left behind them. He's gonna go down. He's gonna look for maybe a pick or two. He gets Riddle, and that will be pretty clean fight win for the Sayoris here. So it looks like no swaps coming in from the Slimes here, and they're gonna need to come out of this choke here. Guku goes in with the slam on high ground. He gets hindered. The shout is forced, which is big. They can look to go aggressive here now that Queen doesn't have shout. Poke goes really low. Guku's one. He might get caught out here as he gets healed up. There's big shell in here. And Nqthyn's coming up on this shout. Let's see if they can get aggressive. Huge punch comes in from Guku, a 4-man punch. But they're not able to get any picks out of that. And Guku's coming up on this Doom ult already. He's gonna go aggressive on Kiri. He pops the ult, but Tracer goes down in the meantime. He gets hindered out of ults, and he doesn't have punch anymore, and he goes down. But War goes down, so it's a 3v4, but now Nqthyn comes in, finds the kills here. Nqthyn has some nice clean up kills, and another pretty clean fight win for the Sayoris. And the Sayoris here, they're coming up on 5 ultimates, so retaking this is going to be really hard. Guku goes for the slam on high ground, and the punch. Misses the punch, but he doesn't get punished for it. He cancels the Noon, but pays for it with his life, and with Guku and Muffin Lumps down, looks like just another easy fight win for the Sayoris here, as Guku makes a swap over to the Queen. But yeah, they only had to use High Noon there. They had some really good discipline not popping all their ults at once. They only used 1, so they still have 4, but the enemy team has 3. They start with the Kitsune Rush over from the Slimes, and they pop the Valk, and the High Noon. The Queen ult comes in. The Suzu was forced, I think. Yeah. There's a huge Queen ult from Pneumonia there. Even though the Slimes used every ult that they had, the Sayoris only win with the Kitsune Rush and the Rampage. So great as Poke BMs with his blade, pops it before the fight starts, and Tuki goes down to his router. So we're looking at a pause here, but there's some great ult usage from, besides Poke BM ulting with the blade, I think some fantastic ult usage coming out from the Sayoris here. Yeah, it was maybe not BM, maybe it was a fat finger. We'll have to ask him if he wants a confirmed answer on that. But just overall, besides that, some great ult usage. You know, they're only using like 1 or 2 ults of fights, and even when the slimes are using like 3 ults in the same fight, they're still losing. Just because I think they're popping them all at once. I don't think they really have a plan going into it. I think they just pop them when they feel like it, and that's really not what you want to see in Overwatch. You want to always have a plan on how you're going to use your ults. So we did get some confirmation in the
We
chat
did
here
that
was
for
yeah, it was not BM, it was a fat finger, so that's good. You know, we won't have to ban him for a map for that, so that's good. But they're going to this fight down poke. Oh, never mind. Or down Tuki. Wait, Tuki was on who DC'd. So he's back in the fight, so Goku hits a good axe and blade on Genji, so if they can just stabilize here, they can win, but the beat comes in, they're going aggressive with the beats here. And if Goku's able to live, they can still win, but he's falling really low, and they trade Nqthyn for it. And Tuki is war, and the picks go in favor of the Slimes, so we're looking at a first fight win for the Slimes here.
My ultimate is charging.
You know, maybe all they needed was little mental reset from the pause there, as Goku finds a really good pick early, really nice knife and axe onto poke, so that really opened up that fight. But Cat falls early before the fight starts to Nqthyn, who's just hitting headshot after headshot here. And this is gonna be really hard. Muffin falls really low, and that'll just be a fight win for the Sayoris. I'm not sure how Cat got picked, but that was really unfortunate. Their queen wasn't even back yet. Coming up on this next fight, though, we have just the queen ult or the queen ult and the blade from the Slimes, and the queen ult and the high noon from the Sayoris here. They shout blade. Nqthyn is on the flank with the high noon, gets 2, but the blade is answered. And he gets 1. It's a 3v3, 3v2 in favor of the Slimes here. And I don't think Demonia's gonna commit the rampage. 3v1 and a good blade to open that fight up from Sly. And the Slimes are able to take their second fight there. It was a great flank from Nqthyn, able to get 2 with the high noon, but it was not enough to win that fight as he swaps over to the Sojourn here. They're gonna have 4 ults on the Sayoris here, so let's see if they can use them as well as they have been this entire set. I think they should be able to take this fight if they do. So yeah, each team is just poking, you know, looking for an opportunity. Pneumonia falls half HP, but he gets healed up. And Nqthyn goes down first to Cat. Huge opening pick. Pneumonia shouts in, but with the high noon coming in, Pneumonia's toast. And that's it's 3v5, and the Sayoris are just gonna have to back up off of that. So you can't be too sad about that fight for the Sayoris there. They didn't use any ults there, and the Slimes used high noon. An early shout from Pneumonia here. They're trying to look for something with the blade here onto Tuki. See what he can do, but the Cole is answered, and Poke just has to chill as he's probably gonna go down. He's 19 HP in the corner. The heals are big, the beat is big, saves him. Tuki Pook's down. They're fighting in the Kitsune rush here. It looks like it's going to go in the way of the Sayoris, as they're not able to kite that Kitsune rush. Huge that Poke was able to live there. Big heals from Riddle Dog. And it's looking pretty grim here for the Slimes. Going into this next fight, though, they're gonna have the Sayoris are gonna have 2 ults with the Rampage and the Overclock. Anytime Nqthyn has the Overclock, that's something to be feared for sure. So we'll see what he can do with it. Pneumonia very good at waiting out the Suzu and hitting good Rampages this map as well. So that's also something to look out for here. But Guku coming up with his own Rampage, and Sly has been doing well with the Blade, so let's see what he can get done here. Yeah, each team's poking, and the Sayoris are actually doing a really good job of just chilling on this high ground, taking really good angles here. Just waiting for an opportunity, waiting for them to push up a bit into their space, and the Overclock comes in from Nqthyn. They're diving him, he dodges the Rampage, and it's an absolute disaster. And Pneumonia pops the Rampage in a 3v5, but you can't complain. You got the fight win, so another pretty good fight win. Just really good positioning there, just baiting them in and using the high ground. Just very well played from the Sayoris.
The barricade is on the move. Let's go.
But now we'll be looking at last fight territory here. But the Sayoris do have the Blade Kitsune, but Sly comes in with his own Blade and isn't able to find anything, gets railed by Nqthyn, and the Slimes still have a chance. They have both supportals, they pop the Cole, and the High Noon takes out Poke, and Nqthyn gets caught out by that Noon, and just a really good High Noon from Tukipook. And even though they lose the Genji first, the Slimes are able to pick up that fight win.
30 seconds remaining. Ancient blade.
But Guku did fall late, so they're going to have to wait for him to come back here. And Poke has the Blade, and they have the beats. If they just beat Blade in, this should be a confirmed fight win. They really don't have an answer for it. So let's see what they can do with that. They get an early pick on the Tukipook, and the Kitsune is popped, and the beats, and it's a 3v5, and they just beat it 2v5, and it looks like just a great opening pick from Poke, able to open that fight up, and that should lead to a match win for the Sayoris there.
Play of the game.
And this has to be the Rampage, I think. Just a huge Rampage, lives through the High Noon, and just a great overall play from Pneumonia there, despite shooting the deflect twice, but that's okay. He's able to single-handedly win them that fight, so great plays from him all around. Alright, so now we have to pick out our MVP of the match from the Sayoris here, so what are your initial thoughts? Who do you think deserves it?
I think that Nqthyn was pretty scary these past 3 games.
Yeah, Nqthyn on the pharmacy was definitely a menace for some really big barrages, despite accidentally killing himself with one of them. But, you know, we don't have to talk about that.
I mean,
I think
he was pretty scary last map too, besides, you know, hitting that blade.
yeah, that is true. But I also want to highlight that Pneumonia had a pretty good game. He was, or a pretty good match. He was doing a lot of big rampages, you know, a lot of big dives from the Doomfist. So I think he also did a lot. So
Yeah, I would
maybe
agree with Pneumonia. I think he did really well on both the Queen and the Doom.
yeah. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to give it to Pneumonia then. So let's see if we can drag him in here for an interview.
Hello?
Hello. Congratulations on
Hi.
your win here.
Wait, now someone else
And-
is.
Oh
Jack!
wait, we got the.
Shh, I'm right here.
Okay,
Okay.
Mr. Fat Finger himself.
Yeah, it was. We were a bit confused. We thought maybe some BM was going on, but
No, he
yeah,
shouldn't
but
use
we
pants
just
the
we just
second he
fat figured.
pressed
So
it.
yeah, we're all good there. We're all good. So no beef has to be started from this match today, which is great.
Surely not.
All right. Well, how you feeling about the victory there? How you feeling about the team? Like, what are your initial thoughts from that match?
Victory. I got to play Junker Queen a lot, so it was fun and it was good. I really think that our team we're extremely versatile. Like when we go to scrims or we go to a match and we pick up a comp, we just everyone feels super comfortable on the characters and it just kind of flows. And then we find out what we're doing wrong after a map or two, and then we fix it, and then we're just good to go the next time. So having a really good time with these guys so far. Everyone's awesome. Shout out Nqthyn, Big Commer. Shout out everyone else for the mental boost. And yeah, it's gonna be a fun season, I think.
Yeah, that's dope. We definitely can see that through the gameplay. You guys are very well coordinated and doing a really good job so far this season. So you mentioned that Nqthyn is a big commerce. So because you guys are so coordinated, I just can't help but wonder like what the comm structure looks like. Like, is Nqthyn just like the leader that calls for everything, or is everybody pitching in, or what does that look like on the Sayoris?
I'd say that most of the comp organization and fight planning is coming down to him. In the heat of the moment, though, lots of times it's just whoever has ideas or cooldowns they want to use chips in. Our target focus still is kind of bad, so we probably need to get a designated person for that because we're playing these super fast comps and everyone's just kind of off in their own world for some of the time. But when we do get dialed in on somebody, it usually goes pretty good. But yeah, it's mostly he's been around a lot. He's a coach, so he knows what we should be doing. So it's easy to listen to him, and he doesn't like have an ego about it or anything. So that's the best part.
Yeah, I can definitely see that from the gameplay. It always looks like you guys are going with a plan. Like you guys use ults very well. You don't when you have 5 ults, like we're not all popping them all at once. Like, you're using 1 or 2 just to win the fight. So a very good ult economy. I can definitely see a contender's coach doing the fight planning for you guys. I could definitely see the impact of that through the gameplay.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dino, do you have any questions before we go to El Clasico?
No, nothing specific.
All right, well, I'll let you ask El Clasico then. Take us away.
No, I don't want to.
Okay, I'll ask it then. So, Logan, if you weren't the MVP of this match, who do you think deserves it the most from your team?
I think for today, I would give the MVP to Poke if we don't count the last 2 minutes of Esperanza. He was kind of on today. Every time we needed to go in on somebody, they were sliced and diced. He played really well. Micro was awesome. Followed up instantly on everything. Was in the right spot most of the time. So, gotta chalk it up to him.
Yeah, I definitely saw him get a lot of good opening picks, made a lot of good plays with the blades, and I could definitely see that answer. But anyways, thank you so much for joining us for the interview.
Thank you for the nomination. It was awesome.
Yeah, no problem. Just great plays all around from you there. But that'll do it for our week 3 Slimes versus the Sayoris. GG's was a fun match to watch for sure. And yeah, I hope everyone has a good night. Take care, guys.
Bye.